So now I'm gonna just take you guys through the course. Are you guys ready? So for those of you that have had private lessons with me or have been through the YouTube course, you'll know how the course goes quite well. But I'm going to start with the first things first, and I want everyone to really just keep in mind about the mistakes, that very often we are a bit scared of our mistakes. So we're going to start with first things first, which is breathing. Is everyone happy with that? So breathing is very, very important, because every single letter in the Arabic alphabet is produced from the breath. So if you study any courses on reciting the Quran, you will learn that some letters come from the throat. What does that mean? The breath comes from the throat. So ha, in order to say that letter properly, you need to take your breath from below your throat and actually say it with your breath. But anyway, we're not going to worry too much about why the breath is important. For now, I'm going to ask everyone to bring their attention to the breath live right now. Is everyone ready? So remember to bring curiosity here. And although I know all of you probably think you're very clever and know everything there is to know about your breath, just imagine you don't. Is that okay with everyone? Imagine you don't know how your breath is. Imagine you are like unaware of this. So just try and notice where is your breath right now. And getting awareness of whether you're breathing in, whether you're breathing out, and really being happy to take your time to do this. I'm going to move on to the next slide, but keep your attention on your breath. And you can read the next slide if you want. But what every one of you will probably have noticed to some extent, those of you that have studied and done the online courses, you're probably more aware of this than others. But you will have unconscious energy around your breath. Nearly everyone will believe that they are very good at breathing and they know how to breathe. So therefore, when it comes to learning how to breathe, we think we know. Coming back to that, my favorite saying, knowing is the enemy of learning. So instinctively, we run away from our mistakes. And hopefully, I want to give this a name. So the name I want to give this feeling is unconscious energy. You can also call it resistance if you want. But what you notice is when you're trying to simply breathe, you're forcing yourself to kind of breathe in a certain way. Or you think that you already know how to breathe. So you're not just trying to notice your breath anymore. You're forcing it to breathe in or breathe out. So just for the first thing, bringing curiosity here and realizing that in your life, despite being as old as you are, some of you I know are 70, 80, 90 years old, but it's possible that you have never in your life thought how to breathe before. Yeah, so you might not be like really bad at breathing, but it's also in the same way you're also not an expert. Same way, you are connected to Allah very deeply. But you're not an expert on connecting to Allah, and you can definitely connect to Allah better. So noticing this energy will be very useful. Yeah. For those of you that have had lessons with me, you'll all know exactly what I'm talking about here anyway, especially one-to-one lessons. If you've done the YouTube course, Connecting to Allah through Salah, you will also have noticed this obstacle, which is where you become a bit scared of your mistake and start running away. Even for like Sahil and you guys who have taught at Iqra, even there, like I would have taught you to slow down and bring attention to the letter which you're reading and not worry so much about getting it right. So again, remembering that knowing is the enemy of learning and realizing that possible you don't know. So we started with breathing, and the next slide is again about breathing. Because inshallah soon I'm probably going to make a course on breathing, probably a 5-day course. But before I make that, I would still for now recommend this Connecting to Allah through Salah course. And it's a 2-week course, less than 10 minutes every day. And if you do it for 2 weeks, you will notice you will have so many activations. You'll notice your spirit in so many different ways. Like it's such a good course that I do it myself. Because it bypasses a lot of the mechanics. When we go to madrasa, we're very often we're taught like Allah is there and Allah is. Sometimes people have a debate over where Allah is, whether He's in the sky or everywhere. And then he helps you, and you do dua and he answers your question. You can do istikhara and he'll give you inspiration. And there's shaitan who does all this. But seriously, you can learn the knowledge and the information, but for you to appreciate it properly, activation is the quickest way. So breathing, again, I just want you to, even now, just for those of you that got a bit distracted from your breath, let's bring that attention back to the breath. This time I do want you to consciously breathe, as opposed to just noticing. So I want you to breathe in through your nose. Take your time. There's not like a right and wrong way of doing this necessarily. If you're doing it wrong, be happy that you're doing it wrong. And just notice again, bring that curiosity as well, that you're just bringing that breath in through your nose. And notice how big your lungs are. Appreciate that, alhamdulillah, you don't have coronavirus. But alhamdulillah, man, just appreciate, like, everyone's scared in the world at the moment of the coronavirus. And it is a blessing if you don't have it. And there are still loads of things which are going so good in the world. And it is important to realize that. And obviously, if you're doing the gratitude course, inshallah, you will develop that. The gratitude course is a 10-day course, less than 5 minutes a day. I think 5 minutes every day. And again, that will change your idea. Again, I know a lot of you will think, oh yeah, I'm really good at gratitude. But I do want you to also think it is possible that you can become better by practicing. That's why the course exists. That's why I would definitely recommend that course. So try and love your mistakes a little bit. That's the activation that you've had today. So just to come back to the unconscious energy, remember the name, unconscious energy or resistance, and notice that. Now, once we've done breathing for a bit and followed our breath, I do like the exercise of breathing. That's why I'm probably going to make a course on it. Because it, just in itself, some of you would have found it difficult. When you found it difficult, you might have been resistant to it. But now you will have probably realized that breathing actually improves your focus. Like, if you can't focus on your breath for 3 full breaths, at least now you realize and accept and admit that your focus needs improvement. Maybe you can improve the way that you use your brain, which is, again, another big blessing from Allah. If you do the gratitude course, this will help you. So now, when we actually come to the Quran, for those of you, again, that have had the lessons and done the online course, you will appreciate how the breath directly affects the way you understand the Quran. Can whoever's drawing please stop? Or is that me? It is me. Anyway, so breathing, again, I just want you just for now to actually do this specific exercise of following your breath. And this one may be harder than you think, to follow your breath for the next 3 breaths. Is everyone okay with that? Gee, I need some noise from you guys, man. Is everyone still listening?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.